All right, our next storyteller works at Prince William Sound College, where he is the assistant to campus director Dan O'Connor and coordinator of the Valdez Last Frontier Theater Conference. He is an internationally produced and Tiny Award-receiving playwright, and you can read more about him and his writing at dawsonmoore.com. Please welcome to the stage Dawson Moore with a story we call Opening Night Disaster.
In 1996, I staged the greatest disaster in Alaskan theater history. I had just taken over being the artistic director of a small theater company called We Call It ART, which was sort of an honor for me, I thought, at that point. I was very young, and I was confident in that way that only a person in their 20s can be confident. Like, you don't really know what you're doing, but you're doing it. We were in our second year of running it. It was our first year having a real season. We had 4 shows lined out. We were going to do them all. We were performing in the upstairs of the Colati Brothers on Brayton up in Anchorage. And our first show went fine, did it. Second show was the only show of the season that I wasn't going to direct, and it was a play by Christopher Durang called Beyond Therapy. And Beyond Therapy is a funny play about therapy back from when it was sort of new to America that everybody was meeting to go see counselors and therapists. And it was going terribly. We just didn't get enough people to audition, so we had to keep sort of, we'll cast it in a minute, and ask all our friends and beg around. We had to push back our performance date twice in order to just get a full cast together, and we finally did. And it continued to go terribly, from problems with spaces to personality conflicts. By the time we got a week out from performing this play, I hated everybody in it. The director was whiny, that guy there, so many. The only person in the play I didn't hate was the new guy who I didn't really know. He was playing the lead, his name was Dave Klutz. So, all right, we finally get to opening night, finally. Because in all theater, when you're having a horrible process in the rehearsal, eventually you get to do the show. And then all the things kind of fade away, and you're doing the show. And even if you're doing a bad show, you don't really know that. You're just doing a show and you like acting. So we get to opening night, and we're upstairs in Colati Brothers, and it's a massive turnout. We have a total of 12 people there, including reviewers from the Anchorage Daily News and the Anchorage Press. I'm sitting by the door because I've had to be drafted to act in the play. I'm also managing the house and taking tickets. I could do. So I'm sitting there, and the show starts. And in the middle of the first scene, Dave Klutz goes up on his lines. He gets a very frustrated look on his face, and he storms out by me out the door. And the woman on stage with him goes, "Bruce!" his character's name, and then runs off after him, and then turns back to me, and she's like, I'm like, So the actors backstage do a good job. They start the second scene, even though it's, 5 minutes early. And once the scene starts, and we're in a room, so it's hard to be surreptitious, but I sneak out and I go down the stairs and I get out into the parking lot just in time to see Dave's truck driving away. Literally me going, no, come back! So I go back upstairs, and they're still doing the play, and I'm like, oh, maybe it was somebody else's truck. And so the second scene ends, and the third scene begins, which he's supposed to be in, and the woman on stage says her first line, "Send in the next porpoise, please." 1, 2, 3, oh, rats, 5. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid that our lead actor has suffered from a severe case of stage fright, and we will not be able to go on this evening. And everybody laughs. Dawson's so wacky. No, I'm serious. Here's your money. So I start handing everybody back their money. And it's a strange situation. There's only at this point, it was 12, but one less. So the reviewers awkwardly leave, and then some friends of the lead actors in the play go, well, we were really coming to see Frances, so can you just do her scenes? Okay. So we do her scenes. I go to the library where the director is working. She couldn't be there. I always remember her looking up and going, wondering how it is that I'm there in the middle of our play. And then we all go out for, Village Inn and shaking and tremors and that kind of thing. And they convinced me, Dawson, we can't have him back. Right, we can't just do the show now. He left. I'm like, right. So we find another actor to cover it, but we can't even find time to rehearse him to get him ready to read the part in the play. So, much to our chagrin, we cancel the show. And then after we cancel the show, Colati Brothers goes, yeah, you guys weren't really like bringing us business. You were mostly just filling our upstairs with junk and stuff. So let's just call it good here. Okay. At which point, me and my two other partners, who've been very absent during this process, all looked at each other like, "Does anyone like producing theater?" No, me either, right. So, in the space of a few days, I went from being someone who felt that he was one of the masters of the universe to being someone who had been very publicly humiliated. As I said, there were reviewers there from the press and the news. The Anchorage Daily News ran an article called Short Review. The Anchorage Press actually called me about their article. They wanted to run an article called Klutz Drops Play. And very nobly I told them, no. He's in a lot of pain right now. I don't think that's appropriate. Like 3 days later, I'm like, I can't believe I didn't tell him to nail me, guy. But it was the first time in my life when I discovered that the most horrible things that happen to you are often in the long term the best things that happen to you. I then went to my instructor and said, hey, how many credits until I graduate? And they're like 12. And I'm like, I've had 12 credits to go to graduating for like 3 years? Okay. So I finished my degree and I moved to California and I had a lot of great experiences that one day qualified me to come back here and do the job I do here. So, you know, it was horrible. I've never been depressed like that again or before. But anyway, that's the greatest theatrical disaster in Alaskan history.